Imagine you live in this eastern part of Lima, Peru, one of the poorest parts of the city. Tens of thousands of people live here, in a city that in total counts about 3 million. Imagine that what you do is try to make a living. And to get your groceries, you go to the daily store, which you see right here in this picture up front in the left. A store, when opened, may look like this. A store that sells consumer packaged goods, beverages, fruits and vegetables. A store that operates in a dangerous neighborhood, so it may need to be protected. A store where suppliers visit the store to deliver the goods, and where suppliers may place fridges to actually display their products. This is what we study. These consumers in this particular neighborhood in Eastern Lima are not alone. There's about 4 billion consumers on the globe, mostly in the developing world and in emerging markets, that actually buy their products in stores like this. We estimate there's about 50 million of these stores globally across the developing world. In the developing world, depending on the country, the market share of this is the dominant player. In Lima, for instance, Lima, Peru, market share of this stores is about 85%. So 85% of all sales in consumer packaged goods go through this channel. The big challenge that these stores face is that they're severely cash constrained. And this drives a lot of the operations and limitations in the supply chain. Their customers are poor, they get informal credit, and these stores hence have to very carefully manage their cash. And this drives their ordering behavior. This is what we try to understand in this particular experiment on how suppliers can actually help these shopkeepers overcome these challenges in managing their cash.
Molisac served nanostores in northeast of Lima. The company started as a nanostore and then became a wholesaler. During the rise of nanostores in Lima, consumer packaged good companies made alliances with wholesalers, and Molisac became a distributor for nanostores. Molisac business is one in the context of nanostore low-value orders and high logistic costs. Sales are driven by visit frequency and trade credit. The goal of this project is to determine if credit allows for more efficient distribution by enabling to sell under a lower frequency.
Our experimental design consisted of 2 manipulations: the visit frequency, which was randomly allocated to be either 1 visit every week or 1 visit every 2 weeks in the low condition. We also randomly allocated a credit line, a trade credit line, among the nanostores in our sample. And then we examined the direct effect of these 2 different manipulations on shopkeepers' order size. Not only that, we were also interested in understanding the interaction effect. So basically to understand whether a more efficient operation could be put in place by, for example, reducing the visit frequency in this case and providing a credit line to kind of weather that longer period between visits. So the visit frequency was controlled through the ERP system of the company, and credit access provided basically an interest-free line that shopkeepers could use and pay back within 2 weeks, in line with our low visit frequency condition. And it was estimated based on the pre-treatment historical orders that shopkeepers were placing. The pre-experimental period went from June 26 to October 2nd, 2023. And then from there to January 8th, 2024, we had our experimental intervention running. So in this slide, I'm showing a picture of me presenting and kind of explaining what we wanted to do to the sales representatives. Of course, we had to follow an entire process going from the top management in the company and then all the way down to the sales representatives. So we had to spend a lot of time talking to them, understanding their concerns, explaining what we wanted to do and why we wanted to do it. And in the end, we were able to converge to an implementation that was feasible for the company, that was interesting for the journal, and that was also allowing us to address the research question that we were interested in. So in the end, we had 1,185 nanostores within our experimental sample. This came from a broader range of nanostores that were chosen because they either had not had access to credit before or had not had access to credit recently from the ongoing credit scheme that the company has in place. And the key insights that we were able to derive through this field experiment were, number one, that credit may more than offset the need for high-frequency visits among adopting nanostores. So as long as nanostores are willing to adopt and engage with this trade credit scheme, we see tremendous possibilities, tremendous success of the intervention, of the credit intervention. So we did not observe a single credit default. And the credit line was extremely successful among those nanostores that adopted. But even though the adoption rate was favorable compared to what has been observed in the development economics literature when investigating microcredit schemes, which highlights the potential of this trade credit scheme, we did end up with only 24% of our experimental sample willing to adopt the trade credit at some point during our intervention. So with that, I would like to invite you to read the paper, and I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the JOM community and specifically to the former and current editors-in-chief, as well as the editors of the pre-approved research design special issue that brought registered reports to the forefront in OM and allow us to make this a great contribution. We are extremely grateful and excited to see what registered reports can bring to our field in the future. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you all at the conference.